Sorry, it's 2:51. It's 2:51 in the morning. But that's okay, that's okay. And I know. Yeah, I did just take a shower, so my hair's really wet, and it's gonna be really floppy right now. That's okay. I could put a hat on, but I don't really like hats. Oh my god. I forgot I had this. Oh my god. So, it's a ground, I think. I don't actually know. I bought him at the Capitol. I think it's Prairie Dog. Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot, I think. Yeah, it's Prairie Dog. Prairie Dog, Prairie Dog, Prairie Dog. His name is Wiener. Oh my god, my laptop is on fucking fire right now. Holy shit. That's what that. Oh. I don't know if you guys can hear that very well. I don't know if you guys can hear that very well, but that was like, guys, my laptop is like about to explode right now. I don't really know what to do about that. Hopefully it doesn't bother me for the rest of the night, because if it bothers me, it's gonna bother you. But I'm so sorry. Anyways, more about this guy. His name is Wiener. He was bitten by a wiener dog, a radioactive wiener dog. But it was originally a rat. I bought him in Topeka, Kansas. When I go, because I used to go there every year. He's really fun to throw, and he's like my child. I didn't realize that I brought him here with me. I thought I left him back at home. But that's okay. He's gonna sit on my desk right there for now. Oh, and he fell. Oh, no, he didn't. I caught him because I'm Spider-Man. Anyways, guys, how's your guys' days going? Mine's pretty good. I did skip class today. I did not go to either of my classes. I was tired. I woke up and I was like, fuck life. I went back to bed. I woke up. I could have gone to my second class because I actually enjoy my second class of the day. I do really enjoy that class. And guys, I did not want to go, so I didn't. I look on my Canvas today to check my grades, and there was an assignment due in one of the classes that I skipped that I didn't know about because I skipped, and I got a 0 on the assignment, and now I have a 25% in the class. So, and there's no makeup work. I mean, it's most of my college classes are like that, no makeup work. So I'm kind of just fucked, but that's okay, guys. That's okay. I don't know why they can't recall it. It just like cut out. That's a little frustrating. But if you look over there, my bed, it's a mess. I took a nap earlier today before lunch. After lunch. I don't really eat lunch, but at the time that lunch would be consumed. And I didn't remake my bed, so it makes me look like a slob, but I promise I make my bed. And also my desk is really cluttered, but that's because it's also my dresser, and who doesn't put stuff on their dresser? Because life. I really want to light a candle, but I'm also gonna go to bed after this video, and I don't want to light a candle for like 30 minutes just to put it back out. I think it's focused on the mic. I think it's low-key focused on the mic right now. Right, take it out. Oh well, I don't really care. Also, this crew neck makes my neck look really skinny. Guys, I promise my neck's not that skinny. I mean, it's skinny, but like, I'm a scrawny guy, but like, I'm not like paper thin or anything. I got not a lot of meat on the bones, but I got what I do have is muscle. Guys, I'm lucky defined, I swear. I think you call that a sleeper build. I think I got a sleeper build. Anyways, today, guys, I was getting ready for bed, and I was going to read like I sometimes do before I go to bed. I will admit, sometimes I do doom scroll before bed. I do doom scroll sometimes, but sometimes I read when I'm in the mood. sense. But it's like the worst book to love, I swear. And no, it's not Moby Dick. I have read that. I have a copy somewhere over there because I didn't bring my whole library with me. But no, it's better. So I did mention that I play Magic the Gathering, and this kind of just recently, it gets to tie in. But I also do D&D, and that does kind of tie in as well. But today, we have my copy of, or one of my copies. Oh my god, you can't see that. Oh, holy shit. It says The Hobbit. It's The Hobbit. It's The Hobbit, guys. It's a really dark cover, and I'm in a darker corner of the room because I didn't want that light over there shining in your guys' face anymore. And also, I moved my dresser, and my room feels so much more open, even though it's a huge room, so. But, yeah, so I think I'm gonna read a chapter of The Hobbit. Oh my god, I think there's something in my eye, holy crap. But yeah, we're gonna read a chapter of The Hobbit today, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. Oh. I love page turning. Not even for the noise, it's just satisfying to watch all the pages go by. So this book is by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I think it was originally published on, I can guess, I think. Let's see how close it was. Wait, I think it's like 90. Oh. I was only off. By 6 years. I was gonna guess 1943. It's 1937 is what it says in the book cover here, but I think that's but it's 1937. And I picked this specific copy out like 8 years ago. It came in a set of all of the Lord of the Rings, which was pretty cool. They're all leatherback. I did lose my Fellowship of the Ring. I think I left it in Hannibal, Missouri when I went there for a day. So, but we're gonna read the first chapter here. I don't really know how to do this, so I think I'm just gonna kind of go with what feels right. Instead, I would inaudible whisper this entire book, but I low-key want to understand what I'm reading, and not just say it for the benefit of you guys, because at the end of the day, I'm still reading this book. I think the camera's gonna focus on that. I swear to God, if this earbud falls off my ear, I'm gonna lose my shit, guys. Okay. Here we go. In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. Not a nasty, dirty, wet hole filled with ants of worms and an oozy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole with nothing in it to sit down on or eat. It was a hobbit, and that means comfort. It had a perfectly round door like a portal, painted green with a shiny yellow brass knob in the exact middle. The door opened to a tube-shaped hole like a tunnel. A very comfortable tunnel without smoke, with paneled walls and tiled and carpet, provided with polished chairs and lots of bags for hats and coats. But the hobbit was quite fond of visitors. This hobbit was a very well-to-do hobbit, and his name was Baggins. The Bagginses had lived in the neighborhood of the hill for some time at a mind, and people considered them very respectable. Not only because most of them were rich, but also because they had never had any adventures nor did anything unexpected. You could tell what a Baggins would say. Oh, that is just not the page. Oh, yes, it is. They were going to say on any question without the bother of asking him. This is a story of how a Baggins had an adventure and found himself doing and saying things altogether unexpected. Unexpected. He did stuff unexpected. They were all unexpected. Unexpected. He may have lost the neighbor's respect, but he gained, well, you'll see whether he gained anything in the end. The mother of our particular hobbit. What is a hobbit? I suppose hobbits need some description nowadays, since they have become rare and shy. The big people, as they call us. They are, or were, a little people, about half of our height, and smaller than the bearded dwarf. Hobbits have no beards. There is little to no magic about them, except the ordinary everyday sort that helps them to disappear quietly and quickly when large, stupid folk like you and me come blundering along. I'm not stupid, you're stupid. I'm not stupid, you're stupid. No one's stupid. Okay, maybe I'm a little stupid. They are inclined to be fat in the stomach. They dress in bright colors, chiefly green and yellow. Wear no shoes because their feet grow natural leathery soles, and thick warm brown hairs like the stop on their heads, which is curly. They have long, clever brown fingers, good-natured faces. Oh my god. Guys, I'm making myself tired. And a deep, fruity laugh, especially after dinner, which they have twice a day when they can get it. How do you have dinner twice a day? Do you eat dinner? Do you eat dinner, go out into your living room, and then 20 minutes later realize you're still hungry, so you go back and eat a different meal, like a different course? I don't know. Now you know enough to go on with. As I was saying, the mother of this hobbit, of Bilbo Baggins, that is, was the famous Belladonna Took, one of the three remarkable daughters of the old Took, head of the hobbits who lived across the water, the small river that ran to the foot of the hill. It was often said in other families that long ago one of the Took ancestors must have taken a fairy wife. It was, of course, absurd, but certainly there was still something not entirely hobbit-like about them. And once in a while, members of the Took clan would go and have adventures. They discreetly disappeared, and the family hushed it up. But the fact remained that the Tooks were not as respectable as the Bagginses, though they were undoubtedly richer. No one told me that it was going to be really hard to keep my breaths under control when I was doing this, okay? I'm sorry. Not that Belladonna Took ever had any adventures after she became Mrs. Bungo Baggins. Bungo. That was the name of Bilbo's father. Built the most luxurious hospital for her, and partly with her money, that was to be found either under the hill, or over the hill, or across the water, and there sat remained to the end of their days. Still, it is probably that Bilbo, her only son, although he looked and behaved exactly like a second edition of his solid and more comfortable boy, got something a bit queer in his makeup from the Took's side, something that only waited for a chance to come out. The chance never arrived. Until Bilbo Baggins was grown up, being about 50 years old or so, and living in the beautiful hovel built by his father, which I have just described for you, until he had, in fact, completely settled down immovably. By some curious chance, one morning long ago in the quiet of the world, when there was less noise and more green, Bilbo Baggins was standing in his door after breakfast, smoking an enormous long wood stick that reached nearly down. Pipe. Oh my god. It was a large pipe. Okay. That reached nearly down to his woolly toes. He sprouted up all over the place wherever he went, in the most extraordinary fashion. He had not been down that way under them for ages and ages. Not since his friend, the old Duck, died. In fact, and the hobbits had almost forgotten what he looked like. He had been away over the hill and across the water on business of his own since they were all small hobbit boys and hobbit girls. All that the unsuspecting Bilbo saw that morning was an old man with a staff. He had a tall, pointed blue hat, a long grey cloak, a silver skull, over which his long white beard hung down below his waist in an immense black beard. "Good morning," said Bilbo, and he meant it. The sun was shining through the grass. His very green, but Gandalf looked at him from under long, bushy eyebrows that stuck out further than the brim of his shady hat. "What do you mean? Do you wish me a good morning, or mean that it is a good morning, whether I want it to be or not?" "Or that you feel good this morning, or that it is a morning to be good on?" "All of them at once," said Bilbo. "A very fine morning for a pipe and tobacco out of doors. Into the bargain, if you have a pipe, won't you sit down and have a fill of mine? There's no hurry. We'll have the day before us." Then Bilbo sat down on a seat by his door, crossed his legs, and blew out a beautiful grey ring of smoke that sailed up in the air, breaking and floating over the hill. "Very pretty," said Gandalf, "but I have no time to blow smoke rings this morning. I am looking for someone to share in an adventure that I am arranging. It's very difficult to find anyone. You know, it is my opinion that Gandalf was like the first, dungeon master. And, think about it, I'm trying to find someone for my adventure. Come on, dude. Quit with the NPC shit. Okay, we understand. We get it. You're trying to kidnap us for a month or two. But I don't know, that's just me. I should think so in these parts. We are plain quiet folk, and have no use for adventures. Nasty, disturbing, uncomfortable things make you late for dinner. I can't think that anybody sees them," said our Mr. Baggins, and stuck one thumb behind his braces and blew out another, even bigger smoke. Then he took out his morning letters and began to read, pretending to take no more notice of the old man. He had decided that he was not quite his sort, and wanted him to go away. But the old man did not move. He stood leaning back on his stick and gazing at the Hobbit without saying anything until Bilbo got quite uncomfortable and even a little cross. "Good morning," he said at last. "We don't want any adventure here, thank you. You might try over the hill or across the water." By this he meant that the conversation was at an end. "What a lot of things you do use good morning for," said Gandalf. "Now you mean that you want to get rid of me, and that it won't be good until I move off." Not at all, my dear sir. Let me see, I don't think I know your name." "Ah, yes, my dear sir, and I do know your name, Mr. Bilbo Baggins, and you do know my name, though you don't remember that I belong to it. I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me. To think that I should have lived to be a good morning to my Belladonna Took's son, as if I was selling buttons at the door. Gandalf, good gracious me! Not the wondering was it that Gabo took a pair of magic diamond stars that fastened themselves and never came undone till ordered. Not the fellow who used to tell such wonderful tales at parties about dragons and goblins and giants, and the rescue of princesses, and the unexpected luck of widows' sons. Not the man that used to make such particularly excellent fireworks. I remember those. Luke used to have them on Midsummer's Eve. Oh, splendid. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. They used to go up like great lilies and snapdragons and laburnums and fire and hang in the twilight all evening. You will notice already that Mr. Baggins was not quite so prosing as he liked it to be. Also, that he was very fond of flowers. sailing to other shores of bliss. Life used to be such. Your life used to be quiet. And, I mean, you used to upset things badly in these parts once upon a time. I beg your pardon, but I had no idea you were still in business. Where else would I be? Said the wizard. All the time that I am pleased to find you remember something about me. You don't seem to remember my fireworks kindly at any rate, and that is not without hope. Indeed, for your grandmother took sake, and for the sake of your poor Belladonna, I will give you what you asked for. I beg your pardon, I haven't asked for anything. Yes, you have, twice now, my pardon, I give it to you. In fact, I will go so far as to send you on this adventure. Very amusing for me, very good for you, and profitable too. Very likely, if you ever get over it. Sorry, I don't want any adventures, thank you. Not today, good morning. But please come to tea anytime you like. And well, not tomorrow, come tomorrow. Goodbye. With that, the Hobbit turned and scuttled inside his round green door and shut it as quickly as he dared, not to seem rude. Wizards are wizards, after all. What on earth did I ask him to tea for? He said to himself as he went to his bedroom. He had only just had breakfast, but he thought a cake or two and a drink of something would do him right. After his fright. Let's check to see how many pages I have left because it's already been almost 25 minutes. We'll stop soon because I'm not trying to be here for another 30 minutes reading you guys 8 more pages. Because I'm gonna be honest, guys, it's really late. It's 3:15 and I'm sorry to interrupt the reading, so we'll get right back to it. I know when to stop though. Gandalf, in the meantime, was still standing outside the door, and nothing long but quietly. After a while he stepped up, and with the spike on his staff scratched a clear sign on the Hobbit's beautiful green front door. Then he strode away, just about the time when Bilbo was finishing a second cake and beginning to think that he had escaped adventures very well. The next day he'd almost forgotten about Gandalf. He didn't remember things very well unless he put them down in his engagement table. Like this. Gandalf, gee, Wednesday. Yesterday he had been too flustered to do anything of the kind. Just before tea time there came a tremendous ring on the front doorbell, and then he remembered. He rushed and put on the kettle and put out another cup of saucer and an extra cake or two and ran to the door. Oh, I'm so sorry to keep you wait, he was going to say when he saw that it was not Gandalf at all. It was a dwarf with a blue beard tucked into a golden belt, very bright eyes under his dark green horse, answered at the door. He pushed inside, just as if he had been expected. He hung his cloak on the nearest peg and said, and Dwarf and Hedges, he said with a low bow. Bilbo Baggins jewels, said the Hobbit, too surprised to ask any questions for the moment. When the silence had followed, it became uncomfortable, he added, I am just about to take tea. Pray come and have some with me. A little stiff, perhaps, but he meant it kindly. And what would you do if an uninvited dwarf came and hung his things up in your hall without a word of explanation? he said with a hand on his breast. Thank you, said Bilbo with a gasp. It was not the correct thing to say, but they had begun to arrive at bluster and kind. Badly. He liked visitors and he liked how. I bet he liked to know them before they arrived, and he preferred to ask them himself. He had a horrible thought that the cakes might run short, and then he, as a host, he knew his duty and stuck to it. However, he might have to go along with it. Come along and have some tea, he managed to say after taking a deep breath. A little beer with... I imagine Paul with a southern accent, by the way, so I'm gonna say this in a southern accent. Come along in and have some tea, he managed to say after taking a deep breath. Oh wait, oh my god, that was Bubba's line. A little beer would suit me better. There's all sandy, my good sir. But I don't mind some cakes. Seed cakes if you have any. Well, Booba found himself answering, and to his own surprise, Andy found himself scuttling off to the cellar to find a packed beer mug, then to the pantry to fetch 2 beautiful round seed cakes which he had baked that afternoon for his after supper morsel. When he got back, Paul and Wallen were talking at the table like old friends. As a matter of fact, they were brothers. Bilbo pumped down the beer and the cake in front of them, and oh my god. Loud gave a ring at the bell again, and then another ring. Gandalf was savage this time. He thought to see Puck along the passage, but it was not. It was 2 more dwarfs, both with blue heads, silver heads, and yellow beards. Each of them carried a bag of tools and spade, and they hopped as soon as starving to Hobbit. Bilbo was hardly surprised at all. And we will learn, well, I mean, I already know, and anybody who's ever read the book already knows it's killing it fully, but, we'll continue there next time, guys. So, I hope you enjoyed the reading of, like, the first, 3 pages of The Hobbit. I love that book. It's an amazing book. Maybe I'll read the whole thing in, a little series thing. Maybe that'd be cool. I'm waiting for my hair to reboot up before I get to bed because I don't want to wake up with a